again.
Hey, so I'm here with Bobby Cannavale.
Classier digs this time.
Well, the motherfucker with the hat, man.
Yeah,
You're here
man.
with the hat and everything.
Last time we spoke was in Chris's dressing room.
Chris's dressing room.
Which is kind of nice, but not like this.
Yeah, at least we didn't have to walk up 6 flights to get here.
That's true. That's true.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love it. It's my favorite part is watching all the old people walk up the 6 flights of stairs. Asking me where Chris's room is and going 6 flights.
You know,
And then
the
like
guy I
running
was
past
with-
Joan Rivers as she huffs and puffs up the stairs.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know, I'm still writing about you. Your performance was so awesome.
Thanks.
But not only did you grasp the character, you went through like a physical change. I mean, I've known you for a long time. You used to be much heavier. Did you lose the weight for this role?
Yeah, well, I knew I had to get into some kind of shape. I've never had a role this big, and it's a very physical role, and I don't work out at all. I don't do anything. No, and so I decided to for this just so I could get a little stamina, and so I've just been continuing to do it.
I mean, first of all, you look amazing, but I mean, you morphed into like some hip hop guy from the Bronx. You remind me of Cypher Sounds, the guy who does Hot 97 in the morning.
Right. Oh, thanks. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely had an idea in my head of what the guy should walk like and talk like and sound like. And then actually the physical thing was really just a matter of wanting to have stamina so I can do it 8 times a week because I really, really needed to get into some kind of shape.
So you do that without working out? What's your process?
Oh, no, I do. No, I mean, I do this. You know, it's hilarious because I hate to work out. I really do. And I don't do it. I don't belong to a gym. So I found this trainer who does this workout. It's twice a week, 30 minutes. And that's all I'm doing. And I'm not eating pizza and drinking beer. Those are my 2 favorite things in the world. So I haven't had a slice or a beer in 3.5 months.
I wish you could teach me that, man. Pizza, I'm jonesing on pizza.
That's all you got to do. Listen, man, I eat pizza literally every single day, 5 times a week. Monday through Friday, I meet my buddy at 2 o'clock for a slice every day. I haven't done that in 3.5 months, and that's what happens.
So what's he doing? He's eating alone?
He's eating alone, and the guy, ironically, the pizza place is closing. Not because I'm not going. It's fucked up.
Oh, your business.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Are you still in touch with Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, sure.
I haven't seen him in the longest time. What's he doing these days?
I saw him recently. He's got a show on HBO. It's a big hit called The Game of Thrones.
The Game of Thrones?
I don't think there's a the. I just became my mother and put a the in front of something that's not supposed to be there. It's Game of Thrones. And it's, it's about like
You're
wizards.
smoking the marijuana.
Yeah, right. I'm smoking the pot. But it's it's about like knights and castles and dragons and shit and Pete. It's like a fantasy epic thing on HBO.
It's funny because I saw Wallace Shawn tonight, and it's been so many years, but people still talk about The Princess Bride.
I know.
And for me, The Station Agent was such a powerful film with you and Peter Dinklage in it. It's just, I don't remember a lot of films, but that is a film that stands out in my mind.
Thanks, man.
Had you known him before that film?
A little bit, yeah. I knew him because the guy who wrote and directed the movie had also written and directed a play that Peter was in down in Tribeca. And so about a year and a half before we started making the movie, I met Pete. Yeah.
Fun guy. I know him originally from Naked Angels.
Yeah, and he had a band. He was the lead singer in a punk band. Yeah, Pete's gangster, man. OG, all the way.
He was in a little film I wrote many years ago called Men Who Dance Where They're Not Supposed to. You know how there are signs in New York like no parking Monday and Wednesday? Yeah. I had my artist make a sign, no dancing, Tuesday and Thursday at different hours. And he was a guy who refused to obey the signs. He danced wherever.
And that was Pete?
That was Peter Dinklage.
Hysterical.
Yeah, in his early days.
One-room apartment in Williamsburg before Williamsburg was Williamsburg?
This was back in the 90s. Yeah, it was back in the 90s. Yeah. When I first met him at Naked Angels, before a lot of those guys were famous. And he used to come down. I think I met him originally through Ethan, maybe. He's probably good friends with Ethan.
Friends with Ethan, too, yeah. Yeah, so we're all kind of tight, have been for a long time.
How long have you been involved with the new group?
Well, Wally and I did Hurly Burly together about 6 years ago.
That's right. I remember seeing that. You and Ethan.
And Ethan and Parker Posey. Right? Parker Posey, Hallie Wegman Gross, and Catherine Kellner, yeah.
So, have you done any straight comedy? Have you ever
thought I was a stand-up, but I'm not. I could never do that. That's hard.
So he called you to be in the motherfucker with the hat?
No. He called me back when Station Agent came out to tell me how much he loved the movie. Because he told me that when he became really famous, he decided he was going to use his fame to call people whose work he liked to just tell them he liked it. So he called me and to tell me he liked me in the movie a lot and asked me where I came from in my comedy. And I was like, oh, I'm not a comedian. He thought I was a comedian.
That's a great Chris Rock story. You know, I'm doing the book on the 35th anniversary of the comic strip where Chris was discovered by Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Chris is one of the most humble guys that I've ever met.
Yeah, man,
For a star of his magnitude, the dude is humble, man. He just comes from a good place.
Yeah.
And he appreciates other people's work. Obviously, if he called you years ago, what year was The Station Agent?
Yeah, I guess it's about like 6 years now. Yeah. Oh, he's a stand-up guy, man, a real gent and just a real person, a real good guy.
So it's been fun doing this show?
Yeah, 100%.
When it ends in June, what's next for you? What are you going to do?
I don't know, man. I think we're going to go, I don't know. Hopefully we'll go a little further with the play, but I don't know yet. I'm job to job, man.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I got a script for you.
All right, great. It's got a shorter title than the last one, right?
Definitely. Absolutely.
Congratulations on Boardwalk Empire.
Thank you so much. That's an awesome scarf, by the way.
Thanks. You have good taste.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to ask you when we're done where you got that.
Cool. All right. So, what's it like working with Steve Buscemi?
It is so much fun. He is a great captain of the ship. I think, again, me being a young actor, to have somebody there that's there to, support you and help you and make you laugh, make you feel normal, all those things. He's great. So much fun to work with.
It's the hottest show on the air right now.
Thank God. Yeah.
Thank God, right?
Absolutely.
That is it. Were you a fan of The Sopranos?
I was, and I actually did add a small arc on the show, which was really surreal because really surreal. That's a great one. But no, I was a fan of the show, and I remember one of my first days on the set. I was in their living room, and it took me a while to crack out of fan mode and then get to my work because I was like, oh my God, this is where Carmela cooks and they fight and
I'm sitting here with Tony Sirico.
Yeah. It was bizarre, but it was so much fun.
Oh, that's
it was
great.
one of the real other lucky breaks I had.
And how did you get the gig on Boardwalk Empire? Like, how did that come about?
I had made a tape several years ago when I was bored. I had spent time researching the era of a classic gangster, and I made a tape, and it just sat on the shelf for a long time, and my agent had a copy of it as well, and the breakdown came out for Boardwalk, and she sent it in. And they saw it and responded to it, thankfully. And
how long did it take till you heard from them? I'm always curious about stuff like that.
It was a year. It was
from the time
process.
You auditioned for Boardwalk Empire?
Well, I sent the tape in, then I had an audition, then there was another one about 2 months later, then there was another one several months later, and then there was another one several months later, and then I got the call for the job around Christmas of 2008. Which was, for me, the greatest Christmas.
And did you tell them right away you were going to take it, or did you hold out?
I played hard to get.
Right?
I said, what is this?
Sure, right?
Who is Scorsese? Oh, Scorsese.
Yeah,
Right. I'm going to look at his bio.
Over and get back to you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, immediately.
So completely.
That's so cool. Well, congratulations.
Thank
it's an
you so
awesome
much.
show. And tell me your character's name.
Lucky Luciano.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
This is my wife, Joe Andres.
Great. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks so much. First, congratulations on your success on Boardwalk Empire.
Thank you.
It's a phenomenal show.
Thank you very much.
How is it?
Phenomenal. It's being here tonight. We're here for Real Works. This is an organization that's been around for 10 years now, doing great work with mostly underprivileged teenagers and giving them a voice to express themselves in film. My wife Jo has done workshops there with them, and she can tell you more about the kids.
They're pure raw enthusiasm, but I'll tell you also about the mentors who are incredible because they have such clarity, help the kids find their own clarity and their own voice, and the kids are really giving videos that I say they're in the embedded reporters of our culture because they are telling it like it is, truly from their hearts, and exposing what their life is really like. It's incredible work. Really incredible.
And so is that how you got exposed to it, through Joe's work with them?
Well, I've known about the organization for a while. Jo is a filmmaker, and she's done a few workshops there. And I've been always meaning to come to one of their benefits because I would, love to help them out. But seems like I'm always working on doing something, and I'm so happy that I was available to be here tonight. And also to honor Fisher Stevens. He's being honored tonight.
Absolutely.
And he's an old friend of ours, and I just think he's an incredible actor, director, producer, and the perfect role model for a teenage filmmaker, because he's somebody that has really created his own path.
Yeah, he's gone out of his way to help a lot of people, and so it's wonderful working with high school kids and giving them a direction, especially in the arts, because as you well know how hard it is to break into the arts.
Right. And they don't finish with the video. They also are doing mentoring to help them get college applications in, help them tutoring in school. So it's a completion program into launching their lives that they may not be able to find at home. So it is really phenomenal.
That's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I want to ask you one quick thing though about Boardwalk Empire. Is it, you know why? Because it's interesting to me working in a period piece. Some people do that.
Boardwalk Empire cut. Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No, I hope
probably.
Well, I hope not.
No, well, it's going to focus on real works because that's why we're here tonight.
Okay,
but I'm who knows when I'd have an opportunity to ask you this again. And it's interesting to me, as an actor, you have to take on, you know, whatever it is that you're working in. And working in a period piece, if you're doing a movie, it lasts for a certain amount of time. But when you're working in a series, is it interesting to you to be in the 30s? I mean, it's like living in the 30s again. You're recreating a period of time, and you're there because it's a successful show. So it seems like an interesting opportunity. How does that affect you?
Well, I love working on the show. The period is the 20s, which is the time that I love, and I feel blessed to be working on it.
Well, everybody loves you. Thank you so much for spending time. Good luck. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
What a great makeup job. This looks so real.
Oh, thank you.
It's incredible.
I know, I'm faking
it's
it.
Unbelievable.
I'm just trying to get attention.
Now, is it your first baby?
Second.
Second? Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations. That's
Thank
so
you.
wonderful. What
Thank
a great
you.
gift that is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I wish you all the happiness in the world.
Thank you.
That and a hit show, right? How much better can you get,
not
right?
bad. It's a good
Yeah.
time. Good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking how grateful I am to have a job, you know, at this, that I can come back to when all is said and done. Because I think it's, you know, for any actor, it's hard to take so much time off and then you worry that you're not going to find that great thing again, and all these things pass through your mind when you're.
Isn't that interesting how we worry about stuff like that? That it just like they're not going to remember me 9 months later.
No, well, we worry about it, but it's the flip side to it is that we have this kind of freedom and an open life, you know, that it's scary sometimes when it's been too long, when too much downtime, but at the same time I'm so grateful that, you know, it's always trying to find a balance, but when I'm home, I'm really able to be home with my kids and my
that's
family,
wonderful.
and yeah.
To create that balance. But as I say, a person like you will never have to worry because you're talented and people love you, and you're always gonna have work.
Aww.
How is it working with Steve Buscemi?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
He's just
Great.
the ultimate, you know, he's just the ultimate. He's been doing it for years and he's a pro, and he really sets the sort of, I think, you know, whoever is that sort of totem person at the top, #1 on the call sheet, really does set a precedent and of behavior, and you don't realize, you know, that is a huge responsibility, but he just sort of, it's not a big deal, and therefore you don't feel that on the set, that kind of egos and all of that stuff that you can get sometimes with such a huge ensemble.
Well, it was really nice to meet you. Thank you. So, oh, I'm so sorry, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
we have to gauge the distance, right? That's so nice.
Yeah, thank you.
When are you due, by the way?
I have a few more weeks. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll
how
see.
exciting.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.